Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing something like it's another top 10 list I'm doing. You can see by the title, can't ya? But I mentioned in my last top 10 video that my favorite genre of movie is horror, and that's because, well, it is. So I thought it would be a fun idea to rank not my top 10 favorite horror movies, but my top 10 favorite horror movie franchises. Like, Nightmare, Friday, Halloween, that kind of thing. Those are the franchises. Not that's not all of them. Basically, a horror movie franchise to me is anything with like a long line of movies in it that all follow the same basic storyline, same premise, and like continue the same like plot in a sense. So like the Friday movies all carry the theme of Jason slowly killing more people, you know. Yeah, as before, I'm going to be playing some 2K Triple Threat just so you have something to watch here. But yeah, let's just get into it with number 10. At number 10, we have Scream. Now, admittedly, I have not seen all the Scream movies, partly because I cannot be bothered to see Scream 4 and Scream 5 only just came out. No, I can't be bothered to see Scream 3. Scream 4 looks alright, but I love the Scream movies mainly because of the whole whodunit aspect. I love a good whodunit. Like I've gone to see many a whodunit at the theater. They're very nice. And like the whole twist at the end of the first movie about how it's not just one killer, how there's two of them. Also, the two killers in that movie are they're great. They're great. Oh, and the whole just like the whole concept of just getting the phone call. I can't remember. I'm trying to get my brain working, but like in the intro with was it Drew Barrymore's character? I don't remember her name. But literally, now I just want to put what's your favorite scary movie in all of the descriptions on my Instagram posts. It's great. Okay. The hell is happening next door? The neighbors are moving mad still. But yeah, that's basically what I can say for the Scream franchise. I love the movies, and I do need to watch Scream 2022 because it looks really good. But it's still quite pricey in stores, so I'm probably not gonna just yet. Yeah, moving on to number 9, we have The Purge. Now, The Purge movies, I have like something of a how do I put this? Like I like them in concept, but also like not. Because it is a great concept. Like once a year, just to keep crime rates down. The rest of the time, they have one night where just anything's game. They just have absolutely no laws are in place. But as soon as the 12 hours is up, they go back to normal. And I love that concept because crime rate is down to like what 1%. Like the rest of the year, aside from Purge Night, which I think were it to be a real thing, I don't think that is exactly what would happen, but it could be quite nice. And a lot of my mates have just said we frequently have this. Well, not frequently, but we have had discussions at school of just like, what would you do during the purge? And we've all simultaneously just said we'd hunt down just like the people that we hate from our school that just make our lives worse, and give them a warm, friendly hug just because I don't want to get somewhat algorithmically demoted by the YouTube algorithm because I say some things I shouldn't say. Yeah, the Purge movies, I like them because like the first one I like because it's a home invasion movie, and I quite like home invasion movies just because of the creepier aspect of being confined to one's home. But home invasion movies have also made it so that I feel now terrified whenever I'm alone in my own house, which is not great. Because now I feel like I can hit. Oh, that's next door. My windows are open and I feel like I can hear things in the house, and it's terrifying. But yeah, I love the Purge movies. They're incredible. And like the Forever Purge was an incredible movie. I loved it so much. Like, and I need to seriously like go watch them all again. Just like they're really good. Coming in at number 8, we have The Conjuring and the greater Conjuring universe. This includes the 3 Conjuring movies, the 3 Annabelle movies. That's 6. How many of them are there? The Nun and Curse of La Llorona, I think, are the 8 that's in the Conjuring universe. But a lot of like things don't. A lot of places I say don't include the Curse of La Llorona in the Conjuring universe, but it absolutely is. Shut up. But yeah, like my least favorite of these is either going to be the Curse of La Llorona or the Nun, just because nuns are creepy, and Valak is especially creepy. Ooh, but like the Nun, it's a very powerful being, because like with like Malthus, just the basic demon in the Annabelle timeline, or the Annabelle series. Just like every like month or two, just like get one priest in, just bless it, just like a little bit. But with like Valak, it like takes constant blessings to just try and keep it contained, and and it's just so mad that something can be so powerful. But yeah, I love these movies for the creepy aspect mainly, and I've just gotten to the point where, because like I started watching The Conjuring like a few somethings ago, and I just got to the point where finally demon stuff starts happening, and it's just getting good. It does make me somewhat yell out in terror every single time some demon stuff happens, but you know, that's part of the experience, in it. But yeah, I feel like, and one of my mates once, will you shut up? Shut up. Yeah, one of my mates, there's an ice cream truck outside my window. Leave me alone, I'm trying to record. Yeah, one of my mates once forced me to watch Annabelle Comes Home, I think it was. And, well, we watched some of it. We got to the bit where they've opened the glass case, let Annabelle out. Annabelle's now not there. And that friend is now being scolded. But we never made it past that because we both agreed we don't want to watch this. But that was some time ago, and I feel like we could deal with it now. Because like we've watched stuff like It and, you know, serial killer documentaries. So I know I feel like it will be fun to watch like more of the Annabelle movies. But I just can't decide what order to watch them in. Do I watch them in chronological order or like release date order? I've just realised I've messed this list up because nowhere on this list is the AVP timeline. If I'm being honest, that probably replaces Scream for me, the AVP timeline. But yeah, I'll perhaps make another video talking about that. Yeah, coming in at number 7, we have Final Destination. Now, Final Destination to me is a great movie because it just shows it's a very big believer in the idea of fate and like death coming after you, because like you can't cheat death. And I like that concept, and I especially like that in the second movie because of all the different ways that them cheating death in the first movie has affected them cheating death in the second movie. And that is just such a baffling concept because even the characters can't really wrap their heads around it for the majority of the thing. But hands down, my favourite Final Destination movie is gotta be Final Destination 3. I'll tell you what, it's definitely not Final Destination 4, I'll tell you that much for nothing. But yeah, because that just wasn't a good... what was his name? It wasn't Carter. That was the first movie, the geezer who got hit by a big sign. But I think it was probably like Connor or Chad or something, I don't know. But the guy who got his inside sucked out in the swimming pool, that's the guy I'm talking about. I hate him so much that that even like disgusting death, even though painful to watch, it was incredibly satisfying, which I like. But Final Destination has a habit of killing off good characters, which I suppose is fair enough considering they were meant to die anyway. But I must say, my favourite accident of them all has got to be Final Destination 5. That was an incredible thing, like the whole thing with the bridge. Geezer getting cut in half, just impaled with poles. It's like the whole thing with it collapsing, getting hit by a car in the... oh, it was a beautiful accident. But tragic, obviously, tragic. Did we win? I think we won. And I didn't even earn enough for a new contract. I'm making peanuts here. But yeah. What else can I say about the Final Destination? The one of the things I love about it is the very Rube Goldberg style traps in its essence that have been set that get set up. This like elaborate uh like events, order of events that happens to just end in death. And I love that kind of thing, you know? Like an example of this would be in Final Destination 1, like the whole thing with Valerie Luton, how she had like coffee, got it out, like just poured out the coffee, got then instead some like alcohol, like freezing cold alcohol, the change in temperature cracked the mug. So in essence, she spilled flammable vodka all across her house, eventually in her computer, which exploded, stabbing her in the neck and starting a fire across the alcohol, which led to her oven, which then proceeded to explode, sending fire everywhere. She collapses, reaches for a towel, pulls a block of knives down, and stabs herself in the chest. Then the oven explodes, sending a chair straight onto the knife, driving it further into her, where she then proceeds to pass away. Which is an incredibly unfortunate, but also incredibly well planned. Death might have a little too much time on their hands, if I'm being perfectly honest. Also, William Bloodsworth is an absolute G, and we need him to come. They're not going to do an FD6. I want them to do an FD6, because FD5 was pretty decent. But yeah, moving on to number 6, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you know how much I love the first movie. The second movie was, well, weird. But you know, it was... Who's there? No one, right. Although weird, it was decent. Texas Chainsaw 3. Yeah, it was alright. Texas Chainsaw 4, that was odd. That was very odd, I must say. However, then we reached things like, what's it? Texas Chainsaw 2022. The new one that came out. Now, I thought that was a good movie. I don't think it was anything great, but I thought it was quite nice, and I quite liked the fact that they brought back the final girl from the first movie in her elder form, now having a family of her own. She gets stabbed with a chain. She gets, oh my god, she gets like, and she still lives. She's got absolute go MVP. But yeah, I like the contrast between the 1974 and like the 2022 reaction to like Leatherface, because it basically is just Leatherface now. The Sawyer family is not like a prevalent thing in this movie. Basically, it's all just about like she was talking about some chainsaw wielding maniac chasing her down, and like they never found him, but she's been searching for like 40 years or something, which is maddening. Yeah, it was a good movie, and I'll give it a rewatch sometime just to see if my opinions have changed, but probably not, to be perfectly honest. Dunk, yes! Next up we have, at number 5, we have Friday the 13th. Now, these movies... What can I say about these movies, really? You know what Friday is. Some camp counselors go to a camp to try and fix it up. They then, one by one, proceed to get killed off until, well, sometimes not even one remains, really. Sometimes, most of the time, one remains. But in the first movie, there was a whole thing where the final girl cut off Jason's mum's head, and then, you know, got dragged into the lake, but then didn't, because apparently there was no boy, but it did happen, and like, you know. But like, they're all a fair bit samey until you get to they get to the one with the fake Jason. That was a dumb movie, and I didn't like it, I must say, because I didn't like the fact that it wasn't like a Jason or his mum, because like the first movie, his mum was like a good killer, because nowadays you'd suspect it to be, you know, Jason Voorhees, but turns out he wasn't even really in his first movie. Well, he was kind of ish. Yeah, and the Friday 2009 remake starring the geezer from Supernatural. That was honestly that's like my favorite Friday movie, even above the first one. I don't care. It was an incredible movie, and I love the fact that they didn't focus too much on like the gratuitous side of things, too much, you know. But they also had some nice kills and stuff in there. Like they had a geezer in a bear trap. They had someone stuck in a sleeping bag above a fire getting burned to death. And eventually they shoved Jason into like a wood chipper. So that was a nice little end to Jason in the 2009 remake. Yeah, I love that movie. Anyways, moving on to the next one. At number 4, we have Halloween. Now, I will confess, I think the Halloween movies are quite slow-paced for the majority of them. And I don't really care about Season of the Witch. But other than that, I think they're all pretty much... They're all good. They're all good. Like, the Rob Zombie ones, I think... Especially Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Those were brutal movies, and I love them for it. However, my favourite Halloween movies, and I don't know why this is... Maybe because of, like, it's the, Halloween 1978, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. That's my favourite timeline, even though it's not done yet, but Halloween Ends is coming out October 17th? Sometime in mid to late October, and I'm very excited for it. Because, like, Halloween Kills is one of my favourite movies. And I cannot wait to see how it ends. I want to see how the story ends. Yeah, I love all the Halloween movies. Like the H2O timeline. What can I really say about that one? You know, I'm gonna say nothing about that one, just because I don't want to. But yeah, you have the original Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Right up to the Return of Michael, or is it Return of Michael Myers? Or is it Curse of Michael Myers? I forget the titles of the Halloween movies sometimes. But yeah, I love these movies. And I do plan on rewatching them all, seeing as I'm fairly sure they're still all on Netflix when I watch them. But yeah, moving on to the number 3 spot, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, the main reason I love these movies is for the same reason as a lot of people love these movies. Mr. Fred Krueger himself. Apart from one very specific movie, the Platinum Dunes 2010 remake. I think with Michael Bay involved, which says a lot, doesn't it? I swear I heard that somewhere. But yeah, this movie basically was just a remake of the first movie, but with different actors, obviously, because the old ones have like grown up. With I don't know whether to include Freddy vs. Jason in this entry or in the Friday entry. That technically links them together like the AVP timeline. But nah. I'm just gonna continue with the narrative that it's both, really. So it can occupy both spots. But Freddy vs. Jason, it was like a dumb, silly, fun movie. And, like, honestly, I'm here for it. The concept was great. The acting was awful at times. But it was all in all a fun movie. And like the rest of the Nightmare films, Nightmare 2 was pretty good. Nightmare 3 was great. Nightmare 4 was less so. It was good, but it just wasn't as good as Nightmare 3. Nightmare 1, obviously, one of the goats of Nightmare films. But I'm trying to think of the rest of the Nightmare movies, because there's Nightmare 1, Freddy's Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, something after that, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then there's the Platinum Dunes remake, which isn't on that. Wait, let me actually go get my Nightmare movies. Dream Child. Oh, Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare, then Wes Craven's New Nightmare. But yeah, I love all these movies and I need to rewatch them all again. I've got a lot of movies I need to rewatch. But yeah, coming in at the top two. Number two, we have the Saw franchise. Now, these movies are very special to me because they're some of the first. I think Saw was like one of the first horror movies like I ever actually watched. Like I'd heard of it, I'd seen like some stuff of it. I'd obviously watched the kill count on Dead Meat, and but I'd never truly watched. Then one day I accidentally rented it through purely just ignorance on how Amazon Prime renting happened. Proceeded to watch it, fell in love with it, bought the rest of them. Not Spiral, because that didn't come in a box set. But I absolutely fell in love with these movies. Got to Saw 6 and just, ooh, that was a great movie. And one thing I love about these is, especially the first Saw movie and the fifth one. First and the fifth one, I feel very heavily in. Oh, and the second one, obviously. And the third, and the fourth, and really all the games, all the big games that are like the main thing. I feel like they really inspired the escape room craze that like I really love. I love escape rooms. I do them like a lot of my mates have birthday parties like in escape rooms, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Although I'm very very bad at them, but I still love them so much. But yeah, and John Kramer as well. What a character! Like he's absolute genius, and just is just a bit evil, isn't he? Yeah, just a bit evil. But he's also one of the most quotable people ever, because some of the things he said are very true. Like especially his comments on like the whole medical thing in Saw 6, which I think is why I like it so much, because it's one of the times when he's like actually speaking just straight truth. John Kramer spits a fair few things that are technically true but taken in a way that is evil, and like that's what I love about it, because it causes a conflict in your brain. Like, oh, that's technically right, but I still don't like you, so I'm gonna say that it's wrong. But it also is technically wrong, but it's right. You're hurting my head. This is a fun movie. Don't ruin it. Saw 2 was also a great movie. Saw 2 was one of my favorites. The whole thing with the nerve gas house, that was very fun. The opening trap, while like not as good as the opening of like Saw 1, for example, and I'd say it's better than the opening of Saw 3. I didn't really like the opening of Saw 3 because there was literally no way for him to survive. The door was welded shut, and there was a jaw. No, there was a chain through his jaw. That was not okay. Yeah, screw you, Amanda. We don't stand Amanda. We're glad she died. Yeah, I absolutely adore these movies, and I cannot wait for the next Saw movie featuring Chris Rock, being made by Chris Rock. But yeah, now you're wondering if Saw's number 2, what could possibly be number 1? Some of you might have figured it out, but coming in at number 1 spot is Child's Play, the Chucky franchise. Now I love these movies. Like Saw 6 may be my number 1 favorite movie, but Chucky is my number 1 favorite franchise as a whole. Just because I feel like with Saw, you're pretty much guaranteed like it's all good. They have like different traps, but it's like the same-ish concept every time. And while that is true with Chucky, it's like it changes it up just enough so that it's like it's still what you expect, but it's not giving you exactly what you expect. And I love that. Like, but there have been some choices, let's put it, in the Child's Play franchise. For example, Seed of Chucky. You know what? I'll accept that as a movie because it explored some nice ideas, like the whole concept of Chucky having a kid. And that comes back. I can't wait. I hope Glenn comes back. Glenn/Glenda comes back in the second season of Chucky, just because they were a great character, and like, especially for like some 2000 and what, 11, 2011, or 2009. I don't remember. But yeah, I'm very hyped for Chucky season 2. The first episode airs October 5th, and I'm absolutely buying Now TV just so I can watch it. And like uh but Child's Play 3, that was a choice. That was absolutely a choice, and it was a bad choice. I think it was a choice that was bad because it was just first of all, they didn't have Alex Vincent playing Andy Barclay, which I understand because they wanted to like age Andy up a fair bit. But just not having Alex Vincent in the role just made it feel a bit less like Andy. You know what I mean? And I'm very hyped that they brought him back for the TV show and for Carlton Curse. Where Curse was a I'm conflicted on how I feel about Curse because on the one hand it's a good movie, but on the other hand, I don't know. It's just something about it, you know. Maybe I'll have to give it more watches. But I do quite like it, although I don't like the fact that they implied in Cult that they murdered Nika's niece, and then just never confirmed that. Like, is she alive? Is she not? Maybe she comes back for Chucky season 2. We don't know. But yeah, all in all, love the Chucky movies. Love Chucky as a character. Absolutely phenomenal character. The way he can like emotionally manipulate the children that he's trying to transfer his soul into by assuming the role of like a father figure because they don't really have one in their lives anymore. That's honestly, it's brutal and it's genius, and I hate him for it, and I love it. It's just so many things about these movies I love so much. I'm gonna need to go watch all of these movie franchises all over again. And yeah, thank you very much for watching my list. Let me know your favorite movie/franchises down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.